Jedao Timi Hot. You are not alone. I come from a world far from yours. I have journeyed across an ocean of stars to reach you. For some time, your world has sheltered one of my citizens. For reasons unknown, he has chosen to keep his existence a secret from you. He will have made efforts to blend in. He will look like you, but he is not one of you.
Second vision, three-dimensional geometrical shapes used for interdimensional communication. Because I'm tired, I won't put much detail into this article. In 1990 and 91, I was already well exercised in achieving a paralysis state, which is the precursor to astral projection, which medical science has termed sleep paralysis. Something I always thought sounded pretty silly or stupid, because you're not asleep when you're wide awake to realize paralysis has taken place. Or when you focus voluntarily to produce this state, you are not asleep. Being awake is not being asleep. I wish medical science would stop calling it sleep paralysis when you're wide awake during the process. For those who've experienced what I'm talking about, you know this to be a fact. Again, medical science and their terms never fail to make me shake my head at their arrogance and ignorance. If you are awake, why call it sleep paralysis when you're awake? Answer. So idiots like associates I've known for over 20 years will still be able to say, well, how do you know you aren't asleep? After I just told you for the 25th time I'm wide awake. Anyway, after I learned to achieve that function within my conscious perception, I had my second vision in 1990 or 91. The reason I typed 1990 or 91 is because it was either of those 2 years. Can't remember the exact year. I used to hear the term vision throughout my life and thought it had to do with what people call vivid or lucid dreaming. That's the only thing I could relate a vision to. I know now a vision is nothing near to a dream. So one night I'm in a paralysis state riding the waves of energy, looking into the darkness as the energy is surging through my entire body. I'm focused on the darkness as per usual, and the intensity of the darkness basically grabbed my consciousness and took control of it, and I was sent images of vivid shapes. There were 3 geometrical shapes that instantaneously appeared one by one in the darkness I was observing. These shapes were outlined in a laser blue light which formed each shape. I was wide awake while observing this. I was told by some people that I truly respect that I should never speak about this publicly, but I'm not about hiding or withholding information if I don't know why I should. If something is happening to me, why not tell other people to see who else will step forward and speak up? The first image was a three-dimensional geometrical shape outlined in laser blue light forming an L shape in 3D visual format with 4 squares. Again, I state forming the L like the movement covered by the knight on a chessboard. The second image was an acute triangle with the same laser blue light used to form the first shape. The third image outlined in laser blue light was a three-dimensional cube. A three-dimensional cube with another three-dimensional cube overlapping it, both rotating at the same pace. The third and last image was rotating as opposed to the first 2 images. The first 2 shapes were still completely motionless. As the 3 images appeared one by one, there seemed to be information somehow transferred or downloaded into me with each image presented. The information was not visible, but its presence clear and precise while being transmitted to me, rapidly at a speed that I can only describe as beyond light. What I've just said, spoken or typed, is the first to the majority on a grand scale. The only 2 people that I have told this before, I specifically never told them that part. Concerning the transmission, that goes for the classes held at 9th and Rhode Island in 97 and 98 for the HTM. I didn't tell them that part either. My last question asked to the Imam at 9th and Rhode Island in Northwest in 97 or possibly 98 was, what were those 3 images I saw in my vision? As the 2 squares within each other rotated, I felt that my mind was being taken over by a force more powerful than myself to not be able to stop what I was seeing. The 2 3-dimensional cubes in laser blue light rotating, getting faster and faster as I had no control over stopping what I was seeing in my mind. I opened my eyes to see if I would see my room, but I didn't see it, and I could only see the cubes rotating faster and faster. My eyes were wide open and I'm not seeing my room. I'm blinking my eyes, feeling my eyelids open and close, and I'm seeing the cubes in the darkness of my mind's perception as my eyes were wide open. Whatever was taking over my mind was definite. I sat up in my bed and grabbed both sides of my head with my hands violently shaking my head, yelling out, "Stop, no." To my surprise, immediately everything stopped and I could instantly see the darkness in my room. I flicked on the light, grabbed the phone, made a phone call to tell somebody what just happened. Now, I'm not a fan of comic books. I never have been. So when Hollywood decided to reproduce Stan Lee's Iron Man and a few other comic book characters of his, I didn't instantly hop on the bandwagon like most. You might get the impression that I'm a super fan of science fiction, but I'm not. How to explain that? I'm not a fan of commercialized science fiction, such as comic books recreated for Hollywood's entertainment industry. It's something about comic books turned into movies that just doesn't get me excited, especially when I was never into comic books in the first place. My neighbor from Harlem, whose judgment I trust, told me, "Yo, go check out Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. was perfect for that part." So I decided to go check it out. There wasn't nothing else to do in this town, and it turned out to be pretty damn good. Plus, being a fan of Ghostface Killer from the Wu-Tang Clan gave me more incentive. One of Ghostface's aliases is Tony Stark, aka Iron Man. Thus, he had a cameo appearance in the first Iron Man movie with Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man was a great flick. So after Iron Man 2, I decided since Robert Downey Jr. was in the Avengers, I had to go check that out as well. I'm sitting in the theater, and basically at the very beginning of the movie, there sits a blue 3-dimensional cube. What they have termed in the movie the Tesseract. The image of that object displayed on a monitor in that movie is exactly what I saw in 1990 or 91 in my vision. For the exception of the glowing bluish ball of light in the center, the object displayed is the main focal point of the movie. That object displayed in the Avengers is an exact replica of what I saw in 1990 and 91 in my second crystal clear high definition vision that impeded my mind and took over my perception. Again, for the exception of its center glowing, a blue laser 3-dimensional square cube overlapping another blue laser 3-dimensional square cube. Unlike the movie, in my vision, there were 2 3-dimensional cubes rotating simultaneously as one. BornSkywalker. 3 stars that crossed each other's path, acknowledging my thought. After a couple of nights sitting on my deck and asking for them to appear, I decided to see if they would respond to what I'm thinking. I placed the thought, "Can I see 2 of you?" Within a minute, 2 of them appeared slowly, moving slowly, one just in front of the other. This occurred about the 5th night of me watching them. When that happened, there was no way for me to state this was just a coincidence. I laughed to myself, is this really happening to me? They are responding to my thoughts. I wanted to laugh and cry at the same time. I felt overappreciated and overjoyed that they were acknowledging me and what I am asking of them. Somehow, from the age of a small child, information was placed in me concerning these events that I am now living. I just knew that one day I would be living what I am now witnessing. I felt truly humbled and honored for them to acknowledge and respond to the thoughts I placed towards them. What they look like are stars that are moving. Just imagine the brightest star in the night sky, except it's moving, sometimes fast, sometimes slow. They go invisible. Something from up there is responding to my thoughts. This is contact. I've known all along I'd be living this one day. I was born to walk the sky. I was born to watch the sky, unlocking the mysteries of our greatest fears. Where do we come from, and where do we go after we die? I always felt I had the right to know the answer to these questions, so I began my search at a very young age. Staying to myself, asking these questions over and over and over again, until my first discovery of the astral body. The fear of death eliminated. We do survive death. We are conscious beings in physical human form. Conscious being, eternal, that does not have an ending. We are eternal beings and we transform as the galaxy rotates, as the universe vibrates. Life and death, a never-ending cycle that demonstrates the creative force of the universe flowing through us. Vibrating as one, we are all connected through vibration. This realization opens up a whole new world of contemplation, concentration, meditation, vibration, and elevation. BornSkywalker. So the 6th night, I decided to try again to get them to respond to what I placed out toward them. I humbly asked, "Can I see 3 of you?" In about 2 to 3 minutes, 3 stars appeared one by one, forming a triangle at the 3 points. One by one, they moved towards the center of the triangle, all 3 stars crossing each other's path at dead center, moving out and beyond along a straight trajectory. They did this in a position directly above me. I sat down in a chair and reflected on what just happened. I graciously and humbly asked to see 3 ships, and they appeared in a triangle formation directly in a position in the sky above me and moved to dead center of formation across one point and out past the center of each wall of the triangle. No Earth-made satellites can respond to human thought. At this point, I was 100% convinced that what I had been seeing was definitely not of Earth and was from somewhere else. This is contact. Prior to this last illustration, I had been asking for signs to verify if they could hear my thoughts or if they were monitoring my thoughts. I'd ask, "Can you flash if you can hear me?" and wait for a response. Between 5 to 7 minutes would pass before I would see a bright flash in the dark part of the sky. This was my first request. Even though I had received over 2 dozen responses like that, I still was fighting my own doubts because it was just too incredible even for me to be going through this phase. Seeing UFOs is one thing. Having them respond to requests is an entirely different arena. So as to finally kill all doubt that was still lingering in me even after the first several dozen sightings, that's when I decided to ask to see 2. And then the following night asked to see 3, and they responded in kind. Beyond Human, the Chronicles of BornSkywalker.
My dad said they'd come. Said it my whole life. He said, we ain't alone. He said one day we'd find them, or they'd find us. You know what else he said? He said, I hope I ain't around when that day comes.
These are people with the ability to leave their physical body. He is a very accomplished astral projector. He's been doing it for a long time.
TV.com.
Yeah. It's the anthem.
Yeah, niggas, it's your boy S.O. Beats, and all I gotta say is
this nigga right here behind the cam, man? Tony Dope, nigga.
DopeFatTV.com, the website started by a guy by the name of Tony Dofat, who was producer for Bad Boy Records. That's P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, or P. Diddy's company. His label. This Dofat guy, if you look him up, D-O-F-A-T. Just look him up, Tony Dofat. He's a record producer. He's known in the game, the industry, in the hip hop world. He's very famous. He created a website called DopeFatTV.com. Him, along with another guy, that guy's name is Jack Knight. I know him as Talib. He was one of the 12 disciples. Very famous. I used to be a part of that website just for kicks and fun, because of boredom, because I was letting my project that I had just released in 2009, I wanted it to spread, so I was letting that release, and I was settling back, watching the outcome. did from 2007 up until mid-2009. Things, I know time schedules, and I know how to, when I throw stuff out there, I know how long I got before it starts to spread. So I did what I had to do because I wasn't going to let the government just bury that shit and say it was fake. Come on, man. It's like one of the greatest events that's happened in the history of the world, and y'all just gonna, and what's scary is that any bullshit that y'all put out, the people buy it because they're gullible morons. It's cool. I just was like, I'm gonna talk about this for a minute. Let's see what happens once I talk about it. Because I saw what happened when I talked about tired black men dealing with this gender war between black men and black women. You know, it had an effect on that. Whatever. So I helped that case out. And I helped that website, the DoFat TV website. That was just some fluke shit. I was just, hey man, I looked at the website as a television show, 24/7. I saw it as a TV show. Kind of reminded me of the Dave Chappelle show. So I did what I had to do to try to get that idea in people's heads. A lot of the guys that was on the site as regulars, they were, to me, they were television stars, man. You know, they were characters on the TV program. So I threw some videos up on YouTube, and the way I did the videos were more sitcom-ish. And I knew once I did that, other people would pick up and follow behind, or not really follow, but just kind of like, okay, he did that, well let me do this. And it spread. It became like a war. Crews and groups and little factions, you know, started to develop because of the Winston Wolf videos I did for DoFatTV.com.
You know, you got some cats on the site now, they starting little beefs and putting little crews together to start little fucking camps where you fucking trying to piss people off. Supposedly you're exposing somebody because you're gonna show a fucking picture. Right. You know, one of the dudes from the site contacts me on my Skype, tells me I inspired him to do this and that. Right. And I say, look, yo, I mean, why don't you do something positive? Let that shit go. That shit's old. You keeping the shit going. You keeping the negativity going. I'm tired of that shit. I don't want to have nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying?
It was all on a positive note for me. I didn't want it to turn into what it turned into, but it just started a little back and forth issue between guys who had issues with DoFat and his little staff, and people who felt that they was not going to shut up. You know, nobody was going to shut them up. So I had a little bit to do with that. So we got the Tired Black Man website, and then we got the DoFat TV Wars, along with the Read Wars that I started on YouTube. That shit just flourished and spread like a domino effect. And that's what I wanted to happen. Alright.
Peace, man. It's your boy, BornSkywalker. This will probably be the first and last time I do this on camera. You guys saw I wrote an article called Not Hopkins and the nickname B Hops this morning. Everything I wrote down in that is accurate. The reason why I'm pointing that out is I'm just showing you an example of, that's just one example of things that I've done where I've pushed ideas out to the masses. That's something I'm proud of. Every time I go into a boxing chat, I say B-hops, it makes me laugh. Just like that. Just like it's like, serious. Every time I see it in there, I'm like, damn. Like I said, I started that in 2000, I want to say late 2000, early 2001. Down came, he decided to put on a tournament for the middleweight championship in the world where we had William Jockey, Ḥūmån, and now Hopkins, Philip Trinidad. Come together to try to unify the belt. And you know, I was in the AO boxing chat under the name Solo Ilson Rock. One thing I kind of left out, I didn't give you details on. I'll go over it now. Basically, I was in AOL boxing chat, and I was commenting on the tournament. Bernard Hopkins and Keith Holmes, they fought first. Bernard got Keith to go. Joppy and Tito was coming up. So I was in the chat room and I was saying, I was referring to Joppy as Jops. The Jops. J-O-P-P-S. And I was saying, let's see what happens when the Jops gets Tito. We want to see if Tito can handle a middleweight punch. So needless to say, like I said, Tito, he's been cheating. A lot of people don't even want to talk about that. But Tito had been cheating up until the Bernard Hopkins fight concerning his hand wraps. His dad had been double wrapping his hands, and it's illegal in New York and in Nevada. Alright? So if it's illegal in 2 states, it shit should be illegal everywhere. I don't give a shit if it's not illegal in Puerto Rico, where he went to fight Sharifi after Bernard Hopkins knocked him out. But anyway, I was referring to Joppy as the Jops. Tito beat Joppy. So the next fight, in the last fight of the tournament, was Bernard Hopkins and Tito. So I just referred to Bernard as B-Hops, subliminally linking back to the Jops. So I was just going around talking about B-Hops, and B-Hops gonna knock him out, blah, blah, blah. I went into, it was like, back then I think it was like 3 or 4 major boxing forums back then. One was called Eastside Boxing, I don't know if it's still around. I went there and I went to like 2 of them, other than the AOL Boxing Chat. And when I was doing that, I was changing my name. And the reason why I was changing my name is because people on the internet act like a bunch of fucking girls. They act like bitches, man. If somebody's right about something, you guys will just start hating on the person and you want to get him back because he was right about something 3 months ago. So you fucking stalk people and harass people just because they made you look stupid in a conversation 3 months ago. So to avoid all that dumb shit, I just changed my name. Y'all like that shit. Dude, if I had a discussion with you and I was right about something and your feelings got hurt, I don't want to be fucking arguing with you 4 months later over some whack shit because you mad about some shit that happened 4 months ago. Fuckers act like bitches, man. So yeah, I was changing my name because people was following me and shit around the internet, just wanting to argue because I was right about some fight. I mean, I act like some assholes. Anyway, I was changing my name. Basically going into these different forms, changing my name, avoiding assholes following me around, and I was still referring to Bernard as B-Hops. So you can imagine if you go into, let's say, Eastside Boxing, you see some dude in there calling Bernard B-Hops. And you see another dude in there calling Bernard B-Hops, another dude, 4 or 5 different dudes, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different dudes calling Bernard B-Hops. And I realized that could be one person. That's what I was doing. And I was doing it in different groups. The same way when I was talking about the crop circle thing, I went into different UFO and alien forums and just dropped that one article that I wrote in different forms, but that spread under one name. With the B-Hops thing, I was changing my name so it looked like it was 20 or 30 different people when it was just one person. It was me. So eventually people just started picking it up and started going with it.
The same thing that happened with Pernell Whitaker. A lot of people don't know the original name was Sweet Pete. It wasn't P, it was Pete.
I didn't watch Bernard fight until he fought De La Hoya. I don't know how many fights he had between the Tito fight and the De La Hoya fight, but I didn't watch Bernard after that. So I'm not on the internet. I'm not following what Bernard's doing. And then Bernard decides to fight De La Hoya. So my girlfriend, Jaja, her cousin, had to fight. So we went over there to watch it off of Addison Road in Cowboys Mountain. We went over there to watch it, and I'm sitting right there on the couch. And Bernard come out, De La Hoya come out. They announce the fighters, take off the garb or whatever. And I'm looking at the screen, and I look at his trunks, and it say B-Hops on it. I'm like sitting on the couch, like looking like, damn, that's kind of wild, some wild shit. I looked at my girlfriend, and I was about to like say, I gave her that nickname, but I just looked at her. It's like I just tell her later and shit. But yeah, that's how I found out that he started to run with it. So that's all I want to say about that, man. That's your boy, man. Peace.
I'm gonna go with the next one, crop circles. I was there, 2003. I'm in UNM. I had the name Broken Touch, and cause I've been tired of people talking about crop circles being made by aliens. I just got tired of hearing it, so I just wrote an article on that website. You know, basically exposing how crop circles were made. I'm saying they're made by DoD satellites using microwaves. I said that in that site. I'll travel to other websites and forums, alien UFO forums on the internet, and I posted the same article everywhere, just exposing that. I just got tired of that shit, man. I mean, y'all get yourselves played by stupidity, just like that fake snow shit last year. Fake fucking snow. It doesn't burn. Look, I'm gonna light a match and it's not burn. Y'all some fucking dumbass motherfuckers, man. Really, y'all stupid as shit. Anyway, crop circles. I exposed how they were made. 24 hours later, the Secret Service is pulling up in front of my mother's house, asking who lives at this address. You know, so I exposed them in 2003. I got a response from the fucking intelligence community because they pulled up in front of my mother's house. I was like, wow, okay, the internet really is monitored. I know about that. And I exposed that. That's 2003, 2004. Okay. I did it again in 2008 on the Odyssey Linker channel. It's like video number 17 or 18, I think it's 18. Video 18 on Odyssey Linker channel. I mentioned that again. And then I even refer back to 2003, 2004 when I wrote about it. Okay? And that video got over 35,000 hits right now. Okay? 35,000 views. In June of 2009, Mikio Kakao or something, I can't pronounce his last name. He did an article that came on like the front page of some science magazine talking about crop circles. Or it was a website on the internet talking about crop circles being made by satellites and microwaves.
May be one step closer to solving a mystery that's had them scratching their heads for decades. Have you seen these? They're called crop circles. Enormous symbols mysteriously appearing on large areas of farmland. Some believe it's UFOs. But could physics actually be behind these massive shapes? Michio Kaku is a physics professor at City University of New York. He's also the author of Physics of the Future, How Science Will Shape Human Destiny and Our Daily Lives by the Year 2100, I guess.
That's right.
Michio, John's already taken responsibility for a few of these crop circles out there. But what are the theories? What are the actual theories behind this?
Well, if you have a stake, rope, and a wooden plank, and you simply rotate the rope around, you can actually create your own crop circle in 1 hour.
Really?
In 1978, that was the first recorded crop circle, and 2 pranksters admitted that they did it, and they duplicated for the press in 1 hour. Now with GPS, lasers, and also with microwave ovens, you can create intricate patterns as detailed as any that you see in science fiction movies.
Okay. Again, in the summer of 2011, all these articles popped up on the internet about crop circles are being made by GPS satellites using microwaves. At no time before, nowhere, you find me a video before 2008 on YouTube talking about crop circles are made by satellites and microwaves. Let me know about that, alright, so I can give you the credit. But before that, I was the first person that mentioned that on the internet. And take it back to 2003, 2004, there's no articles nowhere that dates before those times. Can you not see? It's a pattern with me, or what's coming through me. Y'all can think and believe what you want.
And I wanted to say, well, when I was in Pennsylvania, I said, you know what, no. She's retired, man. I guess for me, I don't have a need to convince anybody of anything, and the fact that I saw what I saw, I know that I saw things that defy conventional rationale. There's not a question in my mind. With the things that you said to me and the things that I saw on that night, I know that they were real. Like I said, my biggest thing was they had no, there was no origin and there was no exit. Things just appeared and then they were gone. And I'm sitting there and it happened like 1,000 times. It wasn't just like, did I just see something? Maybe I'm tripping. No, like, it was almost like they were saying, no, for real, look, believe in us, please. And I'm looking and I'm like, yep, absolutely, I see it. I'm not looking out, I don't feel afraid, but this is some real ass shit, and I'm good. I don't feel like it was something scary. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it was a revelation.
The American Naval Deep Space Command, who also call themselves the Guardians of the High Frontier, are responsible for the location and identification of all objects in space around Earth. It's their claim that they can track and identify an object as small as a football at a distance of 30,000 miles. They refer to unrecognized tracks as unidentified orbiting objects and have been known to locate up to 6,000 of these in a 3-month period. Their area of responsibility lies outside the Earth's atmosphere. Below this level, the monitoring of the sky is taken over by NORAD, which is the North American Air Defense Network. Larger radio telescopes are on station throughout the world. They can scan the heavens to distances of hundreds of light years. This network of space surveillance ensures that any object heading towards the Earth can be tracked from a vast distance. As an object approaches, it is monitored throughout its journey. If any object should land or crash on Earth, the contact point is known immediately, and quick response teams swiftly arrive on the scene. This network was created after the Roswell incident, and since that time has developed into a sophisticated search and retrieval operation. Quick response teams are located in strategic positions throughout the world. Once there, they isolate the area and ensure that the public is kept unaware of sensitive incidents.
What they do is, they're called, I think, blue teams. And there's 5 levels of security of the blue teams. And when a craft comes down, the first level are the ones that get there and put up portable walls around it. No matter how big it is, they have something to put around it. The second level of security are the ones who create diversions. If it's near a freeway, they can drive semi-trailer trucks filled with gasoline and create some accident that will tie up that freeway for a number of hours until they can move that. The third level of security are the guys that go in there and determine how it's going to be moved and where it's going to be moved. The fourth level of security are the people who come in and actually move it. There's the 2 different levels of security, and it's a massive, very well coordinated operation. The guys who, operate it have access to all kinds of city material as far as trucks and movers and cranes and everything to handle these accidental landings or intrusions or crashes.
A live alien was captured in 1948 after a UFO crashed in America. He refused to communicate for 1 year and was given the name EBE, or Extraterrestrial Biological Entity. He later began to communicate and gave details of his home planet. EBE had a large crystal which he linked to his mind telepathically and was able to communicate with his own race. He told of believing in the universe as the supreme being, and stated that his race lived in harmony without wars and had nearly eliminated all diseases. He said they lived to approximately 800 years of age and that their technology was far in advance of ours. The authorities were amazed by the things they were shown through the crystal. EBE was able to communicate with huge spaceships which were holding orbital positions thousands of miles from the Earth. He told them that their crafts were capable of reaching areas in the universe beyond our imagination, and that they were operated by thought control coupled to biological computers, and consequently did not have any control systems as we understood them. He talked about his planet and how their technology had created a system where everything was self-functional and did not require a workforce to operate it, and that everything was monitored from a central control system. He said that technicians were present there. He said their power source was eternal energy from the cosmos.
Thank you all for your tremendous effort in carrying out this essential mission. Your findings will help combat the counter-democratic forces that are at work in the world today. And the technology you have returned with and the insight into the EBs is crucial to our ongoing effort. The fight to protect freedom and democracy has never been more important as it is today. Communism is expanding with nuclear threats from more and more nations. We are being visited by several groups of EBs. Some are confirmed hostile towards us, others are confirmed benevolent. Project Serpo significantly improves our ability to understand the motivations of all the EBs more clearly.
This body will take some getting used to. Feels unreal to me.
What were you before you were human?
It would only frighten you.
Hey, Jay, I ever tell you about Bernard Hopkins?
What happened? What's that?
You know his nickname that's on his trunks now? He got B-Hops on his trunks. B-Hop.
Oh, you? I remember when you used to say that, when you used to call that.
Hey, you remember that shit?
Somebody hit me with some crazy shit in the PM about you, yo. Thought you was getting some threats or some shit. You know what I mean? I just wanted to make sure you was alright, my G. You know what I mean? Cause they was trying to get me to like set you up, expose you, set some government niggas was after you. But man, I ain't got time to be exposed to nobody. This is actually a courtesy call just to make sure you alright, my G.
As you know, all of you did not return home. You endured extreme heat, time distortions, continual light, and a lack of proper nourishment. You served your country and peaceful democratic civilization with courage and honor. You will continue to do so.
I'll be hearing more from you in the future, but right now, let's talk about Serpo. I've been listening to the discussion, and I have a couple of things to add.
Okay.
The first one is this. The reason I became interested in this is as follows. In the early 90s, I was at a UFO convention, I believe in Gulf Breeze, Florida, and an elderly gentleman walked up to me and said that he had been to another planet and he could prove it. And frankly, I thought, oh boy, you know, another one.
my coat?
It's not one of these?
Well, do you see a black leather jacket, fingertip length, like the one Pacino wore on Serpico? Because if you don't, you owe me $379.
A whistleblower, interestingly enough, in New York City. And the old guy just laughed and walked away. End of story until last week when someone wrote a note to my website about this new thing, Project Serpo. And I was stunned to find that it had to do with people visiting another planet. It was called Project Serpo. So close to Serpico that that's what the guy could have said. And yet, at the same time, Serpico was also a whistleblower like Anonymous on the Serpo website. It was really very weird.
To complete the second phase of your mission, you'll be reassigned for debriefing. 102, 203, 225, and 308 to SR3, 700 and 754 to Walter Reed, 420 to Montauk. The ongoing existence of a peaceful democratic civilization depends on your ability to successfully transfer the insights that you have gained. We will all remain committed to this important work and the secrecy that it requires.
Civilian and military units shall be trained in containment and combat of classified airborne, classified strategic. No, I'm sorry, this section is classified.
Hey man, for Royal Fam, holding it down. I'm a wizard. Flow each description. You couldn't figure out what back down. Take this picture.
This is Kayla West. You are watching a BornSkywalker production.
Hey man, for Royal Fam, holding it down.
Come slowly over the house and see this stuff all the time.
What's up, everyone? This is one right here, June 16th. This is the closest I can get to it. Z5 Sony HDV. This is one. This is my second one I've gotten. I'm looking at it through the viewfinder with my left eye. I'm sorry, I'm looking at it through the viewfinder with my right eye. I'm kind of happy. My left eye is open, so I'm looking at it with my left eye also. I hope it gets brighter. This is the Starship. This is what I'm talking about. With my right eye through the monitor, I can see that it's like a second little one behind it, but with my left eye I can't see it. This is the Starship. This is what I'm talking about. Like I said, they look like stars. This is how they do. So they look just like stars. This is the brightest one tonight. This is about the 30th one I've seen tonight. it's going out, it's getting dim. I can't even see with my left eye that's not in the monitor, but the camera can pick it up still. Wow. It's going out, it's going out. Alright, this is the next night, June 17th. The one blinking that's an airplane. The one moving slowly is Starship. When we're gonna come out here tonight, I want to try to catch a low boy. Hopefully that's able to see one. Able to see one over. But yeah, that's one right there. That's zooming on it. See the stars, and then we got the background, so you see it moving. I know yesterday you can't really tell, because you don't see anything in the background. That's one. This is one right here. Pretty low, like the one yesterday. I wish I had stars in the background. I'm looking with my right eye in the viewfinder, holding the camera still. I reposition it so you can see it. This one holding the camera still, it's moving on the southeasterly direction above it. A plane, and they pan out so you see the plane. That's a plane. You see the blinking lights? And this thing has no blinking lights. Where the hell is it? Shit. I can't find it. There it is. Camera still, it's moving. It's getting ready to go over the trees. Still holding the camera still. I'm panning to my right, so you can see it. And this is about the sixth one I've seen them in for 20 minutes. It's fading over the trees and gone. Now, this location right here is what I was talking about in my 2012 interview.
I can have people over to the house and they'll be seeing things because these things are coming on physically. They physically appear, they will come. These things come, I've seen them on the side of my house.
I was talking about the wall, the actual wall of the side of my house. It was a thing, being black figure from head to toe. It was attached right there, and when I stepped out from right here, it looked down at me from that position and jumped down here, and I didn't see anything. And when I'm filming those starships that I call them, the ones that you saw already, the first two that were coming from this location, I was filming this way. I was going this way, going this way, going this way. I'm going this way. When the last one, the second one, when I said it went over the treetops, those are the treetops right there. Now, usually when they come over, now if you see it, you can't see it right now, but there's a plane up there. You probably can barely see. That's a plane. That is a plane. Anything that comes from the east is a plane because the airport is that way. But they usually come from over here, this is the south, and they fly. This is my roof, you see up there, and they usually fly just along the rooftop. And usually when they get directly above me, directly above my head, when they get up here, they will shine real bright for some reason. Right in that location, then when they go this way, they start dimming and they go to your north. And they usually just come back and forth. This is mostly the direction they usually flow, like that. And 3 times out of 10 they'll come from this location.
This body will take some getting used to.
What were you before you were human?
It would only frighten you.
I hope y'all realize how important this day is.
He's one of them.
Today, Osiris wanted to make contact so that he could some reason.
What were you before you were human?
It would only frighten you.
Do you represent a civilization?
I represent a group of civilizations.
Where is this group of civilizations?
All around you.
Be careful what you wish for, because it might just happen.
You can't get away from them. Do you understand me? It's your thoughts.
It sounded to me that what the boy described was a classic abduction scenario. You see the Greys, they're the aliens from Alpha Centauri, and they abduct people for their genetic experiments. And the thing that tipped me off is he said he was paralyzed.
Be careful what you wish for.
It's your thoughts.
Just give you a little something right quick to show you what's going on. This right here is my hamper door. Looking at, you see there's nothing in here. There's nothing in here. It's been like that for 8 years. I've lived here for 8 years, nothing in there. And I live here for 8 years. This is the shit that goes on. Okay? This is what goes on. I go to bed, the hamper door is closed. In the morning time I wake up, the hamper door is like this. That's one example.
They're here. They've been here. The presence of the Greys is now a fact of life. Like death and taxes.
Do you know what they want?
They seem to be studying us. Experimenting on us. One thing we know for sure is they use our fears against us. It can start like a childish prank. A mess in the kitchen, or things missing in the house. And before you know it, you're walking through a full-blown nightmare.
Since my first encounter, I may have had over 100 more of them, where I've had physical, one-on-one contact, just like you're sitting next to me now. Other people have seen this creature, but the fact remains it keeps coming back to me. People who have met me have seen it when I haven't been with them.
The direction they usually flow, like that. And 3 times out of 10 they'll come from this location and they'll go that direction. I'm trying to keep the rooftops of the condos that are right in front of me. I'm trying to keep that out of the shot. Man, fuck it, I'll put the shit in the shot. Yeah, these are the condos. And that third one at the top, for some reason, monoculars, I'll put the film. You see that mound right there?
See the man across this mound? The backside of my house, the deck is right there. There's some condos. There's a mound between the condos. I see them running across the mound.
That's right. Otherworld life forms. A fucking alien.
That mound, you see my finger? I've seen them running across this mound. When I say they go down to the treetops, which is to my right, that's the tree line right there. When they get to the tree line, I seen that thing run across that mound, down into that tree line. And when I got into the tree line, shot straight up into the sky. I never even seen no shit like that before. So this is my deck, and right in this location, right here, standing right here. I'll probably just show y'all the image. I gotta find the original image. My computer got destroyed with the original image, but at this location, right here, right where my hand is, about this high up, I was seated in. That is the chair I said I was sitting in when I froze up.
I was in my deck, and I was sitting in my deck, and I thought like somebody hit me right here, and I got shot. I didn't hear no crack, I didn't hear no pow or anything. It was right here, so I had a shot this in my chest. So I'm sitting in the chair, and I'm looking down, I looked down on my stomach, and I thought I was some blood. I didn't feel no warm vision or nothing. So I had a sensation in my chest, I felt like ice. The best way I inside was ice filling me inside out. And I was shaking, I could not move. I tried to get up, I could not move a muscle from my body. I was shaking, and the only thing I could think was, this spirit is ready. The spirit from the inside of my body was going all directions, forward, backwards, side, angle, moving outward, every direction. It was like ice.
I was sitting right here, and I took a shot just to see, because as you can see, this is twilight. I wanted to see if my camera would register the light. So I took the shot. When I took the shot, I see this thing standing right here. So yeah, this is where I'm shooting at. When the low boys come over, that's the roof right there. When the low boys come over, and I said they come real low, we're looking at they're usually about 30 feet above that rooftop. And they go in this direction over to where the tree line is, and they come just over those trees. And then low, man, I would say the tops of those trees right there, 25, 30 feet above those tree lines. And they're low, and they're real big, very, very bright. So I just wanted to show that. So if I do catch one, you'll know where I'm filming from. And I've always seen them come from right here, and they go this direction, and they go in that direction. That's basically a southeasterly direction. So that's where, hopefully, if I catch one, that's going to be the trajectory. Alright, peace. Hold on. I mean, I have seen them up in the sky. Like I said, they come from the north to the south. I have seen them up there bright, but they're so far up. Like, that blinking light, that is a plane. So that's probably about, I say about a mile and a half. They're usually about that height. I've seen them that high up, very bright. But when they come low, they're much bigger. Like I said, they're about 30 feet above this roof, and they travel in that direction. Always seem like they just skimming the tops of those trees. You know, I'm always forgetting something. When I say I seen them walking towards my deck, I seen a guy. That basketball you see, that's about, I don't know, 25, 26, 27 feet from my deck, just right here. I seen a guy at like 145. I caught him walking. He was closer than that basketball. He was about right here. When I stepped out, he was right here. When he saw me step out, he pivoted just like a soldier would in a march. He pivoted and went that direction. He went over there. I got in my car, cut him off, and then he walked between the condos back into the parking lot over there.
The question that I'm asking is this: are we happier as a human race? Is the world fundamentally a better place because of science and technology?
House has just released a statement confirming that a message of unknown origin emanating from deep space has been received by American scientists. Claire Shipman is at the White House.
He's one of them.
I've had a long time to make enemies, Doctor. And many governments, business interests, even religious leaders that would like to see me depart this earth. I'll grant them their wish soon enough. But before I do, I wish to make a small contribution.
Sorry for moving the camera around. It's gonna be over my head. I want it to get brighter, please get brighter. It's coming from the north, like I showed y'all earlier. It's hitting down, please brighter. I can see it moving. See the stars? There we go. Please get brighter. This was brighter than the brightest star in the sky. Please get brighter. I mean, it's signaled, man. Just let me know what's here. I'll pull the camera out. It was real bright. And then it went down. This is down. This is down to me. Please brighten up. Please. You know, it's doing its fade mode. Throw a flash or something, please. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Never seen this before. I've never seen this before. I've never seen this before. It's my first time. Look, it's over the neighborhood. See? I've never seen it before, so I'm excited. I don't know what this is. Zoom in. Some type of shit. It lit up. It was like it was flaring up. It was flaring up like a damn match. Basically. When I first saw it, it was lit up like a match. It's red, orange. Zoom back in. This is low. This is low. This is low. It was like a match lit up when I first saw it. That was my first time seeing that. Out of the 2,000 to 3,000 sightings, I've never seen that before. This is the one. It's going down. Coming from the south, like I showed y'all. There we go. Good footage right there. Thank you so much. It's almost above me. I'm trying to keep the camera still so you can see it moving. Beautiful. Make it brighter, please. My neighbor stepped out and I was like, can y'all come out with me? That's a beautiful shot. Nice bright one. It's getting lighter. It's just a bunny getting lighter like I told y'all. It's going down. feel me? Then the home is coming to be. I might pack it up tonight, but I just wanted to get you guys a picture of a plane. This is what planes look like when they come over. Okay, that's what the planes look like. Alright, so when I film those starships I show you, they're just solid balls moving. And that planes, you know, are the helicopters. This is usually the height of the starships too. So I'm telling you, this is a plane.
The presence of the grays is now a fact of life. Like death and taxes.
Came out, like I said, I rolled out of the bed. I know it's the body that I'm using. A different body. I just, for some reason, I know it's not a different energy body. Or like it might be a copy, because the journey never lasts real long. Anyway, I walked, I went through my wall, and I fell down in the front yard. I like floated down into the front yard. I got up and I started walking, and I said, I gotta hurry up and do this because I know my energy level is low. So I went up, and I went up to the sidewalk. I passed one house, third house, fourth house. I went to the steps. And I said, these are the steps, this is the house. I walked up in it. I went in. I walked up the steps. When I went upstairs, I went in the bedrooms. And the daughters, it's like they could see me. The people in there could see me. Okay? And I never really see the daughters up close. Like, Sophia knows one of them because she used to work for a home nursing agency. Girl used to come over, but I saw her, but she looked at me. Then when I went to father, got up out of his bed and he just looked at me. And I don't know if he said something, when he looked at me, I was running on the top of the house, right? I went to the bathroom and I was pushing, and it took a long time. I had to push my way through the walls to fall down outside again. Yeah. I pushed my way through, it was like hard. I pushed, and I kind of got stuck. I kept pushing, and by this time, like, it seemed like everybody was up. They were like talking to me, but anyway, to make a long story short, the day when I came out, when I was going to my car to go to work, as I closed my door, I looked, they was getting out of a car, and they stopped on the sidewalk, and they looked at me, right? Yeah. They looked at me, and the father looked at me, and he looked like he squinted, like was looking, he ain't never looked at me like that before. So I got kind of nervous, and I closed the door. I walked by, he was still looking at me. Yep. Then they walked up to the house, they went up those steps, and turned back. Like, if I'm going into my house, you going up those steps to hit that first door, you stop and turn back and look at the person. Yeah. They looked at me, and they stopped and just stared at me, like almost like a frightful look, man.
Yeah, that's what that lady did on Buttonwood, man. What happened? There's a lady on Buttonwood. I used to speak to her. We always speak. She smiled. So then that night, I left. You ever project and do what I'm talking about? Yeah. Are you serious? Yeah, man. And the next day, man, she looked at me, man, like I was a she looked at me like I was a fucking ghost, man. She stopped talking to me for about a year. She didn't, I would speak, she didn't even look at me. Yeah. And they looked at me like, they like, and I wanted to, I didn't, but I just kept going because it kind of made me sort of uneasy. But I was to myself, as I was going to get you to sign the paper, I was saying to myself, I wonder if I had to walk to the city. How are you, sir? Can I ask you, ma'am, sir, is there a problem with you? I wonder what they would have said. They said, no, you look like somebody familiar. Did you come to my house or something? They said that, man. Man, I wouldn't have said, I wouldn't even have walked up to him. I would have just let that shit go. He was like a little boy, and he ran. I think he said, Grandmommy, Granddaddy, somebody's in my room. Then when I came out in the hallway, he was shocked. He looked right at me. I was in the house, man, looking at him. And I was like, I know he can't see me. He can see him. It was the man. I said, I know he cannot see me. And then he asked me, he said, what are you doing here? You leave. You
supposedly, and I think he grabbed a Quran or Bible from me. He's like he was looking at a spirit, like when he responded to me, right?
Oh yeah.
Because I thought he was stood up because his bedroom light, the light came on.
Man.
And he walked out to the hall, and when he walked to the hall and saw me, I was looking when we came into view, he startled him. Like I startled him. He looked at me, what are you doing? He controlled these up, like he was like trying to cast out a spirit or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you should tell him. You should talk to him.
Down through the centuries, the notion that life is wrapped in a dream has been a pervasive theme of philosophers and poets. So doesn't it make sense that death too would be wrapped in dream? That after death your conscious life would continue in what might be called a dream body? It would be the same dream body you experience in your everyday dream life, except that in the post-mortal state you could never again wake up, never again return to your physical body.
Can you tell me the benefits of astral projection?
I wish that I could fly into the sky so very high, just like a dragonfly. Let's go and see the stars, the Milky Way, or even Mars, where it could just be ours. Let's fade into the sun, let the spirit fly, we'll be our one, just for a little fun. Oh, oh, oh yeah! I want to get away.
The benefits of astral projection is knowing that you don't die when your body expires. I had a friend of mine ask me that question. Me and her used to go back and forth about religion. And I used to I never got into it with it when I never debated about religion. I let her have that. I just let her, keep her belief system intact. But when she asked me, I've known her for over 20 years. When she asked me, I was like,
What are the benefits of going to heaven and coming back down to earth and just speaking about it, knowing you're going to have a place to go to after you expire in your physical body? That question that she asked me, it irritated me. I was like, come on, Pam, I mean, 20 years, man? You couldn't even take time out to actually think about what I'm trying to tell you? She doubted for a long time until Oprah Winfrey did a show on sleep paralysis. And I had told her that that was going to happen. I said, when Oprah talks about it, then you'll want to listen a little bit then, huh? And then it happened like about 2 years after that. Oprah did a show on sleep paralysis. The benefits are knowing, not believing. Knowing that you will have a place to reside in another dimension, or another realm, or another plane of existence. Knowing that life continues. That rejuvenates a person. That releases or relinquishes fear. So that's the benefits of projection.
Are you familiar to me? Have we met on some distant field?
You brought something up about disease or disease. And the way that you vocalize your perception of it, to me it's like the mind and the ability to think, and consciousness is a frequency. And we're transmitting and receiving at all times. To me, nearly everybody has that ability. Everybody does have that ability because everybody's thinking on some type of level, one way or another. The mind is basically, to me, is like the radio to the universe, or the radio to what people call God.
Where does he come from?
What I've turned the eternal source. Only reason I like getting away from the only reason I get away from the term God is because the term God, to most people, when you say God, they think of a man or a woman or a physical being, arms and legs, head, you know what I'm saying, torso.
You know what that means? It's Latin. Means know thyself. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret.
But I'm saying that it's beyond that. That's why I've titled one of my projects Beyond Human. Beyond, before the human construct was even thought into existence.
However, what you are now witnessing is an act of my own free will.
Always existed, and it's not going to be an ending to it, you know. So that's why I termed that one project I'm working on now called Beyond Human, because all of us have this in us. It's all a part of who we truly are, which goes beyond our physical body. Once we drop this body and go to wherever we got to go to, that's always been in existence before you were born, before you were birthed. You got to think about it. Ask yourself, how can somebody that's 12 years old be a genius? Like, how did they get that intellect? You know what I'm saying? Where did it come from? That had to have been in existence before they got here. They just continued on with another life experience in this life. And they're teaching it now from past life experiences.
Are you familiar to me? Have we met on some distant field?
Were you fair
Wu-Tang Clan, the hidden chamber. While you be eating pork, my thoughts be traveling through galaxies. Excalibur, professional, flowing gradually, I battle thee. Who goes here? Braveheart, executioners dressed in war gear, we never fear. Lungs expand when I inhale, sentences make sense, lyrics giving details, snakes in the mall, oratorical assault, entourage attack. Your religion's caught, war infection starts. Inject hearts with poison darts since the Ming Dynasty. Master of all you arts, hidden chambers. My third eye preparing for the third world. Put your fists up, I'm making moves with my bishop, so seize them.
Descendants of Anu took on mortal fashion, built themselves statues in the image of themselves to worship themselves, built towers to themselves to remind them when they fell. They came from a station in space, an angelical race, giant in stature, helmet and cape that they wore. Visited this planet to explore, long journey from their own cause their race had war. Instead they called their planet the Bureau, and that they were fallen heroes. They saw gold, saw trees, and life more liberal. Astronauts with afro and locks, jet beam into a ziggurat. They crashed on rocks, 1.21 gigawatts from past over crops. In the tablet legends, they said they opened the floodgates of heaven, describing their monstrous brethren, chopping up their grandparents into 7 pieces. Now they looking for a region, they travel eastern, found the garden called Eden. They saw a being, forced the vow before Baal, or BXL with the tribe of reptiles. Now call the wrong trials the X-Files. Life begins breathing hydrogen inside of high winds. Milky Way violin, heard by the wise men. Observed in Orion, the windows with no end, the black clad in the sea.